Well, exactly right. I mean, we've seen one extreme is galvanising another extreme and shrinking the middle. You've had little to do with Kamala Harris, it seems to me. I note in your memoirs you say she even refused to meet you when you were being considered for Attorney General. You were going around to Democrats saying, this is what I am. What kind of president would she be from your understanding of her?
Well, I would say there was, it's funny, a lot of the traditional liberals and progressives on the Hill met with me when I was up for confirmation. We had very good exchanges and we had a working relationship going forward. She was part of sort of this little group of lefty loons that, just absolutely refused to even talk. What kind of president she would be? I think one of my main concerns is I don't think she's a clear thinker. My father used to say, if you can't speak clearly, you're not thinking clearly. And she doesn't speak clearly because I don't think she thinks clearly. And I think that, she doesn't have any strong principles other than sort of the far left agenda that is essential to have if you're going to get the nomination for president from the Democratic Party. So I'm concerned about her embrace of the green agenda, the heavy regulation of our economy, which is strangling the growth and opportunity from our economy and killing jobs in the United States, the kinds of jobs we need more of. I think she doesn't have much experience in foreign policy, and from what I've seen, it's sort of she's ineffective in councils, foreign policy councils. And I think right now the West is moving into the most dangerous period we have since the 1930s. In fact, in many ways more dangerous because we have multiple challenges coming from different sources. And it concerns me that this is the person who will be the leader of the free world. She doesn't have the background. She's gotten everything, from what I can tell, she's gotten everything in life, and her position is not due to accomplishment or competence, but to other factors.
Yes, particularly males picking her for certain jobs. You mentioned someone who doesn't speak clearly isn't thinking clearly, and I wonder whether, I'm absolutely sure this is the reason why she hasn't given a single interview yet as presidential candidate to a journalist, not one media conference, nothing. But she has on the stump made clear that her big two issues are, one, Donald Trump is a crook and a terrible man and a thug, et cetera, and two, she wants to defend abortion rights after the Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade rule legalising abortion. She said, the court said this was for the people to decide, not 9 judges. The Democrats obviously think this should be 9 judges alone of all the Americans to decide this. You actually said years ago that Roe v. Wade abortion ban was bad law. Why is that? But doesn't overturning it actually help Harris win the election?
Well, it's bad law because I think the original conception of the Constitution was to leave these kinds of issues to states and to have power diffuse throughout the country, not centralize all decisions and trying to govern what is now a 350 million person republic as some kind of unitary mass organization, but to break it up and have a federal system which was supposed to be let the steam out of the system. It was supposed to allow people to make the rules that they live by in their communities, build a sense of community. You can have diversity. Conservatives are actually for diversity, real diversity. People can make different decisions and lead their lives in different ways, and we tolerate that. The left is not for diversity. They're for one size fits all, one rule made for society. And so the Supreme Court was right that the original conception was this not be made centrally by the federal government, these kinds of decisions. And I think that that's better for society over the long run. Now, moving from where we were, where you had this absolute bar on any kind of regulation of abortion, which was not accepted by the people. The American people didn't agree with that position. But to move away from it obviously creates a lot of opportunity for demagoguing the issue, which is what the left is doing. it really should not be an issue in the federal presidential election because the federal government should be out of the question.
Well, in fact, I don't see any policy attached to Harris's rhetoric on that. I don't see, and we will do this as a consequence. Just finally, right. Governor Walz, you would have had something to do with him during the Black Lives Matter riots because you were taking a part in trying to, bring perpetrators to justice, try to stop the, at least try to stop the rioting. What do you make of this man?
Well, it speaks volumes about where the Democratic Party is that they pick this individual over other leaders like Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, or Kelly of Arizona, which actually would have complicated life a lot for the Republicans. So in one sense, it's a lost opportunity for the Democrats. But I personally, it does not give me confidence that this is a man who's ready to be president of the United States, as I say, in this dangerous world. And I felt that while he ultimately, after a lot of cajoling and President Trump urging him to get the National Guard out, he eventually did it, and the National Guard did establish law and order again in Minnesota, but it took a long time for him to get there. So I think he is the furthest left of the choices that she had before her. I also think he has no experience in foreign policy, which concerns me.
That does indeed, because we see how it is possible for a sitting president to become almost totally incapacitated, just as well that I think Biden has got only 6 months or so to go. Maybe he can eke that out. William Barr, fantastic to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Andrew. It's great to talk to you.